Alrighty everybody, welcome to a nice wee bonus Sunday video. In about an hour's time, hour and a half time, I'm going to be recording the live stream for this Sunday. But this weekend has been the 2020 Toy Fair in New York. And because there's a new Ghostbusters movie coming out this summer, Ghostbusters Afterlife, they're releasing a lot of Ghostbusters merchandise, and they've revealed some of the toys and merchandise that they're going to be releasing. So I'm going to just give you my thoughts and see what we think. So the first set that they're releasing is the original real Ghostbusters lineup. So that's the first series. It consisted of the 4 Ghostbusters and 2 ghosts. So let's see what they're re-releasing. So the first one we're looking at here is Peter Venkman in his brown jumpsuit. He comes with the Grabber Ghost. The figure looks fantastic. I had this entire series as a child. I had the full set, so I loved my Venkman in his brown jumpsuit. He comes with the Grabber Ghost. The proton packs for all the figures are exact same, they just have different coloured proton streams. Venkman's one is green. The Grabber Ghost is pretty cool. It's a little translucent blue figure, so you can have fun zapping that. You don't get any traps with them, but it looks exactly as it did as I was a kid. The next one we'll be looking at here is Egon. I've still got this figure with the proton pack. I don't have the ghost. The ghost here is the Gulper Ghost. The packaging looks amazing. It's just taking me back to being a really little boy. I'm talking younger than my son is at the moment, going up to what everyone wants in Irvine and seeing the wall of Ghostbusters toys. So that Egon figure looks brilliant. The ghost looks great as well. I don't have memories of that ghost, so I must have lost it early on. The next one we're looking at here is Ray Stantz. He comes with the Rapper Ghost, which is a little purplish translucent ghost with a wrappy tail. If I do remember right, you can wrap that tail around the arm if you work at it well. And the figure looks great. In the cartoons he was a bit more plump than the other Ghostbusters, and he was ginger. And they've recreated that fantastically with the original figures as well. This recreation of the original figure, his proton stream is orange. So yep, so that looks great. And the last Ghostbuster of this series is Winston. He comes in like a minty green jumpsuit, and his proton stream is more of a yellow colour, and he comes with the Chomper Ghost. Now the artwork for this one I don't remember too much, so I must have just opened this one right away, so I don't have any memories. I used to sit and look at the packaging for ages before opening them, but I think I just ripped this one open, so I don't remember this packaging not too well. So the first ghost of the series we have here is Slimer. Now everybody knows I am not a big Slimer fan. He's like my least favourite Ghostbusters character. So that's because of the real Ghostbusters cartoon, because the way they portrayed him. As a child I was a bit of a purist. Like Slimer was a bit of a villain in the film. He's not their pet. So yeah, but I had this toy. I absolutely loved this toy. I think this toy is the only Slimer merchandise that existed that I love, because I remember seeing the food, and as a little boy, I must have been about 4, thinking that food looked tasty, despite the fact I do not like watermelon and I do not like pizza. I'm pretty sure that's meant to be steak. But yeah, it looks okay. So the figure looks great. It has that long tail. So I remember as a kid it was a bit annoying displaying, or at least trying to sit him down because he couldn't sit because he had this weird long tail. But the figure looks great. If I remember right, the mouth's a bit deep, so you can make it look like he was eating figures. I will definitely be picking that up. And then the last one of this particular series is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Now this is my all-time favourite toy from my childhood. I no longer have it. That packaging alone brings back so many memories of when I got it. I can't believe they're re-releasing it. I've always wanted a boxed Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from real Ghostbusters. I know it's not going to be an original one, but I'll get to have a boxed one sitting on my wall, because I guarantee you I'll have this by the end of the year. Guarantee it. The figure looks fantastic, exactly how I remember it. He's the same size as a Ghostbusters. As a kid I remember being annoyed he was not giant like he was in the movie, but for nostalgia reasons I do not care if he's not a giant figure. The figure looks fantastic as it is. The reason I don't have this toy anymore is because when I was a boy, my neighbour, who's one of my good friends now, bit a bunch of the fingers off, thinking the toy was actually made of marshmallow. Yep, so I ended up binning it because I was that annoyed that he'd broken my toy. There we go. So the next set of toys we're going to talk about, continuing from the real Ghostbusters, is it looks like they're doing a modern version of the real Ghostbusters figures based on the movie Ghostbusters. So these figures, as you can see, it's the 4 Ghostbusters, each coming for a ghost. So we'll talk about Peter Venkman first. So as you can see, they're basic figures. They remind me so much of the real Ghostbusters figures. The way the figure is, the stance, the way the pack is. They just don't have the proton stream. So it looks like each figure is going to come in 2 variations. The figure will be the same, but you may get a different ghost with it. So the first ghost here, so I know they've got these action features where the ghost splits open as a fright feature. So I'm not sure what this greeny mint coloured ghost is, because he's all split open, so I can't really tell you what it is, but it does look cool. I know for a fact the other one is a very small terror dog, so I don't know what the fright feature in that thing is. I'm assuming the mouth opens up, but it looks pretty cool. I'm assuming these are going to be the budget lines or the basic figures that will be out. So the next two we're going to look at is, we've got Winston here, so he also comes with 2 different ghosts depending on the ones you pick up. First one here is clearly Slimer. His fright feature seems to be that it splits open so that you can see his insides as well as his tongue. Now they've got the look of Winston down spot on. He looks a bit cartoony, so I'm kind of hoping this is based on some cartoon that's not revealed yet, so that would be amazing for me. That would just make my year. So that Winston looks great. So the other ghost he comes with, I'm not sure what it is, but it opens up and it's got some creepy face in there, and I'm not sure if they're supposed to look like wings, but it's definitely the ghost's insides. But I'm all up for these creepy, disgusting toys, because that's the kind of stuff that I grew up playing with. So I don't have any of these high quality pictures of Ray and Egon. I've just got these 2 pictures that was taken on the Toy Fair floor. So let's talk about Egon first. The figure looks really good, to be honest. I really like this Egon figure. I wish it came with a bit of a PKA meter, but it's a basic figure, so you can kind of see in the background there that the orange figure that's sitting beside him is opened up, so it looks like it's the same one that we just seen in the Winston picture, but just that it's orange rather than yellow. So yeah, so the Ray figure, you can kind of see his backpack and the packaging behind him. So I think that's the same ghost that was in the picture with Venkman that we couldn't identify, but now it's closed up, so it looks a little suggestive, the fact that it's pink, the way the figure looks. To me that's quite funny, I quite like that. You can kind of see it opened up in the back there. I quite like the packaging, the little cartoon Ray on there, and the big stamp saying established in 1984. So they're going all out to make you know that these are the original Ghostbusters and not associated with the remake from 2016. This is a lineup that I'm really excited for. I will be getting this at some point, but I'm aiming to get the real Ghostbusters line first. So the next set that was revealed is like continuing with the real Ghostbusters re-releases. They're doing like a modern version of the fright features, and they've got 3 ghosts in this fright features line. I don't know if that's what the line's called, but it's basically fright features. As you can see, there's a Stay Puft, Slimer, and an unknown ghost. I can't catch his name in the picture, so let's have a closer look. So the Stay Puft figure, I'm in love with this Stay Puft figure. I know everybody's thinking it's Stay Puft, of course I'm going to love it, I'm biased, but that head mould for Stay Puft, whoever sculpted that head mould or did it on a computer in 3D, you'd be proud of yourself. I am going to say that's maybe one of my top 1 or 2 Stay Puft figure head moulds I've ever seen. I'm very picky when it comes to my Stay Puft figures. I buy them and I love them, but and deep down I know they've never get the face right, and I know that face isn't perfect, but it's like a cartoony, and I'd say that's probably as close as we're ever going to get for a figure that's within anybody's price range. That is fantastic. So this Stay Puft's fright feature is, if you squeeze the legs together, the top torso spins up on some sort of, I think it's like a marshmallowy spine. I've not really seen a good quality picture of it, and I couldn't get one for this video, but if I can get an update, I will update with that before this video goes out. So the second figure here is, we've got another Slimer one. So his fright feature is, his mouth opens up to reveal his spine and some of his ribs, and his tongue flaps out, and he's on a pool of slime, and I'm pretty sure the top of his head springs up as well. I'm not sure why this picture isn't showing that. I'm almost certain that there was a real Ghostbusters ghost that had this exact fright feature, and they've just replace that ghost with Slimer because Slimer's more recognisable. But it looks not bad for a Slimer figure. I might pick it up if I seen it cheap enough. I guarantee I'll be picking up that Stay Puft at some point. But I quite like this Slimer figure. My son might like it. My younger son might like it once he's a bit older. So who knows? And the final figure, the one I can't quite get the name for. So it's quite blurry there, but I think it says Muncher. I'm pretty sure he's called Muncher. So from this picture, from what I can see, he's got 4 arms and 2 legs, unless it's 6 arms or 6 legs, I don't know. And he's in his stomach. We've got a stop sign and a fire hydrant. So, and from that little bit of artwork, it looks like he eats a lot of stuff and spits it back out. So this ghost appears a lot of the merchandise that was revealed, so I'm going to assume he's one of the more prominent ghosts from the new movie, because I think they're trying to make him a new mascot like Slimer for the new generation. So I'm all good for that. So this figure seems to spit out this big garbage ball that's in there. When I first seen this figure, I wasn't sure if you fed stuff into his stomach and his stomach expands, but the way it's looking, the more I've looked at it, I think that stop sign fire hydrant's always in its stomach, and they're just there for you to press in to shoot out this ball. But I quite like this figure. Depending on how I receive him in the film, I'll probably pick this up if it was cheap enough. But I do like these figurines. They look really cool. They're moulded well, but I'm not going to talk about the Stay Puft figure because I relish it. But yeah, they look nice. They don't look cheap in the slightest. They look well made. They look solid. They don't look like they would break easy, which is what you always want, especially when they're kids' toys. So let's move on to more toys to talk about. So there's another Stay Puft toy. When we're talking about kids' toys, this one is aimed for ages 3 and up. And like I said, I'm quite picky when it comes to Stay Puft's face. These faces are not the best, but I like the fact that it changes. So the figure, as I said, is made for ages 3 and up. It looks really durable. It's quite thick plastic. It's chunky, so they're made for really young kids. This one is quite cool. So even though it's aimed at small kids, I quite like it. So as you can see, he's got the happy face on the left. He looks quite happy, but his action feature is if you press down on his head, the face spins around to reveal the angry side. Now, one thing that's always annoyed me about Stay Puft figures and models is you always get if you're lucky, you get a choice between the same figure twice, one with a happy face, one with an angry face. And I always tried to go for the happy face Stay Puft because I love the happy face Stay Puft. I do like the angry face, but I would rather the happy face. But I quite like the fact this one changes and it's very simple. And young kids are going to love this because if I'm loving it, like, I think my youngest son, he's only 9 months at the moment, and I'm going to pick one of these up and keep it in the cupboard. Once he's a bit older, it's his, he can have it, because I think that's fantastic, that toy. My godson may get one if he's not watched Ghostbusters yet, but once he's watched it, if he takes to it, I'll be picking him up one of these or any of the ghosts that he picks. He can pick any ghost he wants and I'll get him it, because I'm always going to encourage Ghostbusters. But this is another one. I can see this one being about £20 by itself. Don't have any price range for these yet. So, but I'm assuming this is about £20, £25 figure. And the other ones I'm going to say are 15 tops. So the next one we're going to talk about here is the plasma range. So these are the Ghostbusters plasma figures from Hasbro. So I'm assuming this is Hasbro's Ghostbusters equivalent of the Star Wars Black series. Instead of calling it the Ghostbusters Black series, I've just called it the plasma range. So these are the deluxe, top of the line models with high articulation, extreme detail. So the first figure here we have is Dana Barrett. So this series comes, if you buy the full series, each figure comes with a piece of a terror dog. You build a terror dog up if you buy the full set, so that terror dog is going to be expensive on eBay when people start separating them up. So I've already seen these online on Amazon to pre-order for £21 each. It's a bit steep, I can't afford them at the minute, but I will try and pick them up or lay hints for Christmas. That's my goal, lay hints. So let's have a look at Dana Barrett. The packaging, it's nice, it's not too big, unlike the Diamond Select toys. Those take up a hell of a lot of room if you want to collect those. So it's in our Zool outfit when she's possessed from the last third of the movie. So the articulation, you can see she's got good joints on her legs, her ankles, she's got one of those big knee joints. The moulding for the dress could be a bit better. I don't own the Diamond Select version, but I'm pretty sure I like the look of that one. The head on this one is fantastic. The hair looks great. It's the dress for me looks looks a bit bland. It doesn't pop out as if it's a high collector's item. but I do want it. I will get it. It looks fantastic. So let's look at the next Plasma series figure. So the next figure here we've got here is Peter Venkman. So once again, the packaging looks great. So he comes with the Pterodog leg. I don't know if it's just one leg or two legs. Also comes with a trap, proton pack, proton 1. So let's see. So we've got Peter Venkman looking like the pose. We see him from behind, so we got a good look at the proton pack. Once again, the pack looks fantastic. The joints look great for posability. I can't wait to get my hands on this Peter Venkman and see what kind of poses we can get him in. So let's see who else we've got here. The next one we've got is Winston. He comes with the proton pack. It looks like a Pterodog leg, and instead of the trap, he comes with a proton beam to attach to the proton 1 gun. So that looks great. Look at that pose. So this figure alone showcases some of the poses we can pull off, because like before, like some of the Ghostbusters models and figures, they're pretty stiff. You can't really pull off poses. This looks fantastic, especially for £21. That's great for something with this much articulation. And the next one we got here is Gozer, the Gozerian. So she comes with, or she comes with a Pterodog head and lightning to attach to her hands. So the pose they've got her in here is her shooting the lightning at the Ghostbusters, but I don't remember her legs being that spread when she did it, so it makes this picture look a bit awkward, but the figure itself looks fantastic. I'm going to go into 11 and say the posability for this figure is probably going to be the highest of the full series, as there's no fancy costumes of it and they need to mould around, so she's going to be fantastic to display outside the box. I can see myself opening this series if I got them, I'm not going to lie. So if people want to see me open a box, you can donate them when these come out if you want. Next one we've got here is Egon. So I'm going to say this is the best Egon figure out there. So I've had a look at this. He comes with a Pterodog leg, maybe one or two, and a PKA meter as well as the proton pack. So the glasses on this figure are moulded onto the face rather than the Diamond Select ones where they've made little glasses and stuck them on, and it always look really flimsy and out of place, but these are moulded as part of the head and it makes it look so natural. As you can see in this close-up here, the glasses look great, the detail's fantastic. And the next one in the Plasma series we've got here is Ray Stan. So Ray here, as you can see, he comes with his PKA goggles and another piece of the Pterodog. So the head in the box doesn't look too great, it's not a great picture, but when we look at the figure with the goggles on, it's still not great, but I'm pretty sure if we put those goggles over the face, it would hide the fact that it's not the best likeness of Dan Aykroyd, and it probably would make it better to display. But this figure, as you can see, they've got the posability in the legs down to a T. This one doesn't seem to have the posability in the torso that the Gozer figure had, like I predicted, but you can still do some great action poses as he's about to pull out his Proton 1 from the pack. So that's the Plasma series. I'm looking forward to them. They're not high on my list of priorities, but if I seen them cheap enough, I'd probably pick them up, or once I've got a better paying job, I can head in to collect them. So we're going to look at the random merch and toys that they're bringing out. So the first that we're looking at here is the Ectoplasm Ghost Gushers. So looking at this display box, we can see Stay Puft, a Pterodog, and that little blue ghost again. So as I said, I think they're trying to make him a mascot, because we can see Slimer at the top as well. So these are the four ghosts that you can get in these Ecto Gushers. So let's have a look at the first two. So these are like little rubbery plastic ghost toys filled with slime, but within that slime is a small Ghostbusters toy, like little mystery toy. You don't know what's inside it until you've squeezed the toy that comes out. So if we look at this Stay Puft, it looks weird with all this pink stuff, but look, close inspection shows me that's pink slime. So he comes, well, this is not what he comes with, this is just an example of what could be inside him. It looks like a little bog hound. So what would happen was that bog hound would be inside Stay Puft within the slime, so you would squeeze Stay Puft, his mouth would open and the slime would pour out along with the figure, and that's how you find out what you got. So it's kind of like a blind bag within a blind bag, if that makes sense. So the fact the Stay Puft my thing looks okay, it's not the greatest. The one I like the most out of this series is this Pterodog, because the The detailing looks great, and I think squeezing that to have all the slime coming out between the teeth. And I quite like that, even though it shows you there's a little Sam Hain head here, the little pumpkin head from the real Ghostbusters, that's not necessarily what you'll get in the Terror Dog, but I like the fact that that's a possibility to collect. So it looks like we're doing all different coloured slimes. We've got pink, we've got green. Terror Dog looks fantastic. We're also doing Slimer, and I'd say that's probably the closest to the Ghostbusters movie Slimer I've seen in toy form in a while, especially for just a little cheap squeezy toy that's puke slime. I'm not sure what that little pink ghost is. I'd have to look that one up, but it's not coming to me. But then you've got this Muncher ghost with his 4 arms and 2 feet, and he's just going to puke up whatever he wants. I'm not sure what that yellow thing is, but I quite like the look of that Muncher ghost. I think they're trying to just make their own cute ghost. I think they're going to try and make him cute in the film, then he starts eating everything. That's my theory. But I like these. As long as they're not too expensive, I can see myself picking them up. But yeah, so that's those little ghost things. So, like I said, they're basically just filled with slime with a mystery toy inside them. And that's what these next things are. These are little canisters of ectoplasm, which is just slime in a cool little tube. And in those tubes is probably the exact same little mystery toys, minus the big squishy puking monster. So these look quite cool. They come in blue, yellow, green and pink. So the only slime colour they are missing is black slime. So who knows? So these look like they'll be the cheaper versions of the ones we just looked at. So these will probably pop up on Poundland and things like that, which I'm not complaining about because I'll collect them. But these also look like they would connect up to our next thing that we're going to talk about, which is the Ectoplasm Lab, which looks like a real Ghostbusters ghost trap that's been turned on its side and filled with a goo tube. So the way, from what I understand, is like even on the box you can see there's that Muncher guy puking up slime, but Slimer's coming out the slime. So does he puke up the slime that Slimer comes out of in the new movie, or is this just weird artwork that I'm looking into? I don't know, but it looks like a good little fun set. So it looks like you make your own slime, you can make glittery slime, you get a little Muncher toy with it and a little tube, so you can make your own slime in this tube. You put the Muncher toy in the trap and you push down on the red handle and it fills the Muncher toy with the slime, and you get little collectible toys to put inside the slime to fill him up with. Then you can make him puke it up. So it looks like a cool wee set. My son would play with that. I would probably play with it if I opened it. So yeah, that's quite a cool. See, I can see that being about £20, but it's not too bad. So the next thing we've got is little keychain plushies. So we can see here we've got a Stay Puft, a Slimer and a Terror Dog, and the very first one, another one of those Munchers. So I think they are trying to bring in, slowly creep him in as a new Ghostbusters mascot, and I'm not complaining about that. It looks quite cool. So these key rings, bog standard plushy key rings. I forgot to mention, with those real Ghostbusters-esque movie Ghostbusters, they're bringing out an Ecto-1 that has a pop-out gunner seat as seen in the new movie trailer. So this Ecto-1 reminds me so much of the real Ghostbusters Ecto-1, so I'm not sure if they're taking that original Ecto-1 and just modified it to be a bit more modern to go with the new movie. It looks really good, it's got good detail, it's got the ladders and the blue piping on the side. That gunner seat looks fantastic, the figures fit in it perfectly, so yeah, you can go and do some busting. So now we're going to talk about the dress-up toys, or the role-play toys as they're called, where you get like the stuff that you as a child you can run about and play with and pretend you're a Ghostbuster instead of using action figures. So clearly the first thing they brought that I seen announced was this Proton Pack set. So everything that she's holding, I think the only things in the Proton Pack set would be the Proton Pack and the Proton Wand on her shoulder, so that's part of the main Proton Pack set. We'll talk about the other accessories in a minute. The Proton Pack is very, very reminiscent of the real Ghostbusters Proton Pack that came out as a kid when I was a kid. I had that Proton Pack. I still have that Proton Pack. My son's played with that. He's played with the full thing. I've got the trap and everything. So I don't have the stickers have long since came off it, but it's very reminiscent of it. It's clearly not the same mould. This one's made to look more like the movie version rather than the cartoon version, which I'm happy with, because you could paint that up for my son. I could paint that up for my son, make it more movie accurate, and he could go out as a Ghostbuster at Halloween. Perfect. Or don't even need to paint it up, he could just use that. So the proton pack looks good. The wand looks great. It looks like it's got a little bit of proton stream coming out. I'd have preferred if that was a bit longer, but if it spins or something, that would be a bit cool. I've not seen any footage to confirm that. So the next piece will... Sorry, yeah, so there's the proton stream there. So yeah, so as you can see, the stream's coming out. I'm not sure if it spins. I think it might spin. Hopefully it does. But it does look like it would be a good play feature to go with the proton pack. But the fact that this picture, she doesn't seem to be wearing the proton pack, I'm not sure if the pack and the wand are sold separately. I can't confirm that at the moment. I'm hoping not, because that would hurt. I'm not going to lie, that would hurt. It would make no sense for me personally. So the next piece we're going to look at here is what's been referred to as the ghost whistle. So from what I understand is that dial is, you set it to which, there's all different icons on this dial. So some of the icons I can see a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man at the top, a couple of wavy lines, a star, circle, square, triangle. So there's some Ghostbusters references in there. So you turn the dial so whatever you want and it goes in the black circle on the bottom left, and when you blow into the red end, it changes the noise that comes out of this thing. So I'm not sure how it works. I've not seen it demonstrated, but I've seen a man talk about it and he was about to demonstrate it, but he moved on to the next thing. So I don't know what kind of noise is going to come out for Stay Puft, but I do know Stay Puft's got that weird roar that he does in the movie, so I don't know if it makes that. So what kind of noise will come out for a couple wavy lines? Would that just make your voice sound distorted? I don't know. But it looks not bad, because it reminds me of a Ghostbusters toy I had as a kid that was a little, basically a squishy proton thing that would just shoot out little foam corks. It looks very reminiscent of that. So the next play feature here is a bigger proton gun that comes with these add-ons. So let me try and explain these add-ons. So the yellow and black add-on is separate from the silver part at the end. So that yellow and black part has a little hologram built in that you can see which ghost that you're supposed to be fighting. It's kind of like a little lenticular thing. The gun makes noises and it's got sound effects, and that silver piece, I think that just adds to the fun. You can combine them all different combinations. So a little proton stream coming out. It's adult sized as we can see here, so it looks pretty good. I definitely want this for myself because I can paint this up. It looks great. My son may want this, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see. So the next one here is the highlight for me. It's the PKE meter. It looks fantastic. It's not 100% movie accurate due to the hinges on the side, but it's adult sized, it makes noises, and I seen in a demonstration it can detect, I'm doing quotation marks, detect ghosts, and if you shake it up you can pretend to catch them. But I think it interacts with the proton stream gun that we just seen a minute ago, so you can use that to detect the ghosts and use the gun to shoot them down. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's how the man described it. So it looks great. I'm definitely going to get this for myself. At least I'll definitely want this PK meter as described in my previous mini PK meter video. I really like the PK meter and I've always wanted a full size one, so I'll definitely be getting that. So that's all the Ghostbusters figures that they've announced. I just realised I've been talking for basically half an hour. Really sorry about that. I thought this would be a quick 5-minute video. Really sorry. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. So if any more toys or merchandise is announced, I'll try to get videos out as soon as possible. These were all announced on Friday and Saturday. Today is Sunday, and I thought I'd try and get the video out. So this will be up after the live stream tonight. The live stream's in an hour, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this video off. Thank you for watching it to this point and listening to a madman rant. And if you've got any comments or suggestions or maybe any recommendations, give me a shout, or if you find any news, send them to the YouTube channel comments, send them to the Facebook page, or if you personally know me, you're probably sick of hearing me talk about these toys, so I'm really sorry. So as always, don't forget to have a gidgeon.